Hi guys, how you doing? It's Thursday again, so it's time for the Dinosaur Experience live broadcast. Hope you're having a good week. Hope you're having a good time and having lots of fun. Excuse me while I just turn a couple of switches on. All right, so we've been really busy this week. We're having a really good time, so it's good to see so many people out and about. We've been visiting schools, we've been to a library, and we've done lots and lots of work socially. We've got lots of stuff, really exciting secrets coming up that I'm hoping you're going to enjoy and you're going to love. So let's get on with it, shall we? Now, we are live at the moment, so that means that if you're watching live, you can be watching on our Facebook page, on my page, on our group, on our business page. You can be watching on Twitter, on LinkedIn, where else? LD TV, and there's another one. What's the other one? I can never remember it. Twitch, that's it, Twitch. So if you're watching on any of those things, you can actually join in live with us. YouTube, that's another one. And you can do that just by typing in the comments there. Just type in the comments, let us know who you are and where you're watching from. And if you've got any questions, you can ask, and we'll be able to see them. Also, if you want a shout out, we always do shout outs at the end of the show. So if you wanted to have a shout out, then just type your name in there, your age, that sort of thing, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up the comments. And at the end of the show, we'll say hello to you guys. We'll be able to say hello to you. All right, so let's have a little look about what we've got going on in this show today. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be looking at Guess the Dinosaur. We're going to be testing your knowledge, having a look at a dinosaur, seeing if you can guess who it is. And then we're going to have a quick look at the Cornerstone Christian Academy, which is where we went today. We went to visit you guys today. So hello, if you're watching from there. Got a little video going to show you about what happened there. And then we're going to look at our dinosaur of the day. Today's dinosaur is the Allosaurus. You may have heard of him. It's a cool dinosaur from the Jurassic period, but we're going to get into all that in a little while. Once we've looked at that dinosaur, we're going to talk a little bit about the Livingston Parish Book Fair that we were at this weekend. Met so many of you guys, and we said that we'd mention some of you guys, so thank you for watching. And then finally, we're going to have a little look at public appearances, where we're going to be in the near future, some of the places you can come and meet our dinosaurs, come and say hello. And then the final thing, of course, is the shout-outs. Don't forget, if you want us to mention you on the live show, just type your name in there and where you're from, just anything you want to say, and we'll give you a shout-out at the end of the show, okay? So don't forget, type your name in there. Now, another thing I want you to do, if you can hear me, because we had a bit of trouble last week. Well, I thought we did, but eventually we didn't. If you can hear me, it really helps if you give me a thumbs up at the moment, and then it should come up on my screen, and then I'll be able to see if you can hear me or not. Let me just have a quick look. All right, so yeah, we've got some people here. Looks like there's some thumbs up. That's good. All right, so thank you guys. But remember, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or a heart, and that helps us to firstly lets me know that you can hear me. And secondly, it means that it helps us to spread the word a little bit as well. So the more thumbs up we get, the more people start watching, and the more fun it is for everybody. We can all join in. And Crackers here, thank you, Crackers. I'm just going to bring that comment up just so we can see it, so you can see what happens. Cracker says we're going long and clear. I think he means loud and clear. But thank you, Crackers, for mentioning that. And anybody else who wants a shout out, just type your name in there and we'll say hello to you. All right, so that's what we've got going on today. Let's go straight through now to our first part. And the first part we always do is guess the dinosaur. So let's see how many of you guys can guess this dinosaur here. Now, here's one we've covered recently. In fact, so recently, it was even last week, if you wanted to go back and have a quick look and see what last week's dinosaur was. I've got some clues for you. He used his long, narrow teeth like a rake. So when he was eating, as we discussed last week, he would scrape his teeth along the branches to get all the leaves and the foliage off, but leave the branches on the trees. So his teeth were designed so he could strip the leaves off rather than biting the leaves. He had a very long neck, as you can see here, and it was very flexible, so he could reach for high food, he could reach for low food. And the advantage of having a long neck means that you don't have to walk very often. As you know, because it's a big dinosaur, moving took a lot of energy. So if he could stand in one spot, sway his head around and on the ground, up into the trees, in the bushes, etc., then he didn't have to move too much. And the last clue I'm going to give you, and we'll see if anybody can get this, the most famous one of these is called Dippy. All right, so Dippy and then you've got to tell me what kind of dinosaur it is. All right, so that's our dinosaur of the day. Have a think about it, guys. See if you can guess what it might be. That's a really cool dinosaur. I'm hoping that some of you might be able to guess that. All right, what do you think? Anybody got it? Well, we'll see by the end. We'll see if anybody can guess what that dinosaur is. We'll bring it up at the end of the show, and I'll actually tell you a little bit more about it. All right, so I wanted to mention the Denham Springs Christian Academy. The Denham Springs Christian Academy. We were there today. Had a great time. There was a pre-K school. We brought along Nash and we brought along Rexy. Had some real good fun. I've got a little video for you here. Just watch some of the stuff that we got up to. How cool was that? Did you see how much fun we were having there? We really, really had a great time. We brought along Rexy, we brought along Nash, and those kids there at the Cornerstone Christian Academy were so much fun. Lots of laughter and lots of fun. What I will say is if you do want us to come and visit perhaps your preschool or your school or anything like that, you know, any preschool that you may have, a pre-K, then just get in touch with us. We'll show you a little bit later on our website where you can get in touch. We'll give you a call, we'll send you an email, and, you know, perhaps mum or dad or your teacher can get in touch, and we'd love to come along and see you guys. We work all over. So we've been all as far north as, we just all over. We work throughout the whole of Louisiana, and we work further afield as well. It's not unusual for us to go to Mississippi and Alabama and those sort of places. And we've got some good stuff coming up as well. Lots of school visits coming up. All right, so we're going to look at our dinosaur of the day now. Our dinosaur of the day, as we said, is the Allosaurus. Now, about a year ago, I went and visited. I was lucky enough that I went and visited the museum, the Science Museum in Lafayette. Now, if you haven't been, you really should go. If you're a dinosaur fan, you're going to love the Lafayette Science Museum because there are so many fossils there, lots of dinosaur stuff. And not just that, there's all sorts of fascinating stuff. There's stuff about the moon. There's a moon rock there. There's all sorts of things that you'll find really interesting. But of course, I loved the bit about the dinosaur. And I've got a little video here about the Allosaurus that I recorded while I was there. So just have a little look at this. It's about a minute long. Just watch this.
Also up here on the third floor, we've got this guy, the Allosaurus. Now, the one we've got here, he's not fully grown. This isn't an adult Allosaurus, but it gives you an idea of what they look like as a fossil. Now, this guy lived around 150 million years ago in the late Jurassic period, so before the Cretaceous, in the late Jurassic. And he grew to about between 28 and 43 feet long. So he's only a baby here, probably 2 or 3 years old. And he weighed about 1.5 to 2.5 tons. This guy was built for business. Look at his claws here on his arms. They're really built for catching and holding things. And he's got the carnivorous teeth, the teeth that help him to bite and grind into things and catch things. What a magnificent beast. Isn't it fantastic we can come and look at these?
So there he is. And what do you think about that shirt? You like that shirt? That's one of my best. I got that one specially made. It's a cool shirt, don't you think? Probably a bit big for me now. I've lost a bit of weight since then. But anyway, the Allosaurus. Let's have a look at the Allosaurus. So we know that this guy was a meat eater. Now, does anyone out there know what we call meat eaters? Do you know? Have a little think about it. If you think you might know, just type it in the answers. Okay, so he ate meat. And we know that because of the shape of his teeth and that sort of thing. So we know that if dinosaurs were foliage eaters, they would tend to have flat teeth. Whereas carnivores, that's right, that's the word we were looking for, the ones that eat meat, they have spiky, stronger teeth. Now this guy's teeth, they were quite spiky, so we know that they were good for catching food, but they weren't anywhere near as thick as the T-Rex's teeth. They were quite spiky, quite a little bit thinner. So that meant that he didn't have the bite power of a T-Rex. The bite power of a T-Rex was absolutely incredible. Whereas this guy, his bite wasn't as strong. It was still very strong. It would deal with most animals at the time. He was a very ferocious hunter, but he was around a lot earlier than the T-Rex, as we'll discover. Now, so we've already said that he's a carnivore. Now, he walked on 2 legs, and we have another word for that. So the animals that walk on 2 legs, we call them bipedal. Bi meaning 2. So he had 2 legs, or he walked on 2 legs. And that was quite an advantage when you're a meat eater, because it meant you were probably a bit quicker. You could get your head up, you could see around, and you could actually use your mouth. You could turn and grab things when you needed to. Now, size-wise, he got quite big. Okay, as an adult, he would grow to about 9 meters long, or about 30 foot, and he would be about 16 feet tall, which is probably pretty much double a human in height. He weighed about 2.5 tons, which is about 6,000 pounds. So that's nothing to mess with. He was quite a big dinosaur for his age. He was pretty big, top of the tree in his age as a predator, as a carnivore. Now, the time period he lived in the late Jurassic period, about 150 to 155 million years ago, which is about 100 million years before the T-Rex. So this guy was around long before the T-Rex. In fact, by the time the T-Rex was walking around, this guy had been a fossil for a long, long time, probably over 100 million years. So that's how long there was between him. Okay, so it was a massive amount of time between this guy and the T-Rex, who was late Cretaceous period. Now, when we talk about things like Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic, we got to remember that the way that scientists and paleontologists measure time is through layers of dirt. So the dirt underneath our feet at the moment, if you dug down a certain distance, that would cover 10,000 years, and that would be called the Holocene period. Okay, so you dug down a certain amount of time, and once you hit that sort of layer, that's the Holocene. And the one underneath that is the Pleistocene. Now, if you've got to keep digging round, down, okay, and then eventually you would hit what they call the Mesozoic Age. Now, the Mesozoic Age is split into three: the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous. And they're particularly important to us. They're the ones that we really like, because that was the age of the dinosaurs. The very, very early ones, Triassic. Then in the middle, you had the Jurassic, and at the end, the Cretaceous. Now, the majority of the dinosaurs, the super cool ones that we all like, they were all around in the Cretaceous, right at the end. But this guy, the Allosaurus, he was in the Jurassic period. So he was sort of like in the middle of the dinosaur period, about 100 million years before the T-Rex. So that's when he was around. So the Allosaurus, now, he had 3 fingers. Now, as we said, when we compare him to the T-Rex, we know only had 2. So the Allosaurus had 3. And he also had quite long arms compared to that. His arms were considerably larger than a T-Rex's arms. So that was good for him, because it meant he could use them for hunting. He could swing and grab and slash with those 3 clawed fingers. And that would help him when he was hunting and grabbing things. Over his eyes, he had little bumps. Well, I say little. They weren't little. They were like horns over his eyes. Okay. Now that's quite an important thing. T-Rex had the same thing. If you have a look at this model here, let me just show you here. Can you see he's got raised eyebrows and his eyes fit quite into a socket? So the T-Rex actually had a similar thing to the Allosaurus. But it was not as big. It was nowhere near. It's probably about half the size of what the Allosauruses were. And that's the way, one of the good ways that we can identify the difference between an Allosaurus and a T-Rex. Okay, and also the teeth were very different shaped as well. But those horns over his eyes, that's a good point. Now, we don't think he used those as a weapon. In fact, we know he didn't, because the bone structure of those things was quite thin. Okay, it was thin, and it wasn't sustainable. If it was to bang and crash against them, they would break off. So the chances are it was probably used as a signaling device. A youth one might have a dark colour, and as it got older, probably got brighter and brighter, maybe a red or a yellow, that sort of thing, and it would help it to stand out, and it would send a message to other dinosaurs, to other Allosauruses, and say, hey, look at me, I'm big, look how wonderful I am with my bright colours. Come and be a friend. Come and don't. Or it could be a warning. Don't mess with me. And so that's what we think those bony structures in front of his eyes were about, like big bony eyebrows. But it's quite likely that they were coloured. Now, interestingly, some people suggest the same with the T-Rex. They suggest that the T-Rex's eyebrows could have been coloured as well, as a display mechanism to let other people know that he was there and what kind of animal he was, that sort of thing. Now, it's believed that this guy could run pretty fast. He could run up to 30 miles an hour. So that's really interesting. Next time you're in your car and you're driving with mum or dad or whoever you're in the car with, tell them to let you know when they've reached 30 miles an hour. And just have a little look out the window and watch how fast the ground and the earth is moving past your window. And that's how fast this guy could run. Way faster than you can run and way faster than I can run. We'd both be in trouble. Now, here's the trick. If you're ever chased by a dinosaur, what you got to do is push the person over that you're running with, and then he'll stop and eat him, and then you'll be okay. All right? Is that a plan? All right, so remember, 30 miles an hour. What a cool dinosaur. So that's the Allosaurus, one of a really cool dinosaurs from the late Jurassic period. So very early in the dinosaur world, late Jurassic. And he was a predator. He was a carnivore, so he was a meat eater, and he was he was at the top of the tree of his time. You know, he was probably the apex predator. He didn't have much to worry about. He was a real top of the tree dinosaur, and not many things worried him. How cool is that? I love learning about dinosaurs. I hope you learned something new there, and I hope it was pretty cool. Now, don't forget, if you're watching now, we've got nearly 6 or 7 people, I think. If you are watching and you want a shout out, just type your name into the comments there, and at the end of the show, we'll give you a shout out. All right, that's cool. So, talking about dinosaurs, a really cool place you can go to learn about dinosaurs are libraries. Now, we love libraries. I remember as a child, I used to go to libraries, and it was like a little treat for me. Once a week, we'd go to the library, bring back the old books, get some more new books out, and it was like an adventure. Every time we could go and see all these wonderful books and go on. We would learn things, we could read stories and find great stuff. And here's the best thing. It didn't cost anything. So if you got a book and you start reading it, you thought, yeah, this isn't really me. It didn't matter. You could just bring it back next week and exchange it for another one. That's the cool thing about libraries. You can experiment. You can find out all sorts of things. And not just books. Libraries have lots of things. Now, we were lucky that we got invited to go along to the Livingston Parish Library this weekend. And we brought along our dinosaurs, and we came along to try and recruit some dinosaur trainers. And a lot of you guys come to say hello. And here's some pictures of some of the fun that we got up to. And I've got a little video going up onto YouTube later that you'll be able to see from this visit. I'll probably put it on our Facebook page as well. But I will say it was so much fun meeting all you trainee rangers. And we brought along Rexy, we brought along Nash, we brought along Brutus, our Carnotaurus, and of course Susie, our little girl T-Rex, who's a real favourite with so many people. Now, talking about books, we have our own book out as well. Miss Dawn, my wife, she wrote a book called Rexy Goes to a Party, and here it is here. Now, you can get that on Amazon, so if you're looking for a gift for Christmas, then that's available. But we are doing a product launch. We're doing like a book launch coming up really, really soon in December. And that's on the 3rd of December at the Cavalier House bookshop in Old Denham Springs between 10 and 12 o'clock. So if you want to come and meet our dinosaurs, you want to come and meet Rexy and Nash, then come along on the 3rd of December to the Cavalier Bookshop in Old Denham Springs between 10 and 12 on the 3rd of December. And you can meet us. Miss Dawn will be there with our store. We'll have some T-shirts and we'll have some badges and things, and also the book, and she'll be able to sign the book for you guys if you wanted to buy a book. Now, if you can't remember that, that's not a problem, because there are places that you can find out where we're going to be. All right, so let me just show you this. So this is our website. If you go to the dinosaurexperience.com, it says here, this is our website, the dinosaurexperience.com. If you come to where it says more, and it will bring up all these subtitles. If you see where it says public events, click on there. And as we get booked for public events, this is where we add them to. So let me just scroll down a little bit. So for this year, obviously this was this weekend in Livingston Parish Library, but the December the 3rd, as we just spoke about, the Cavalier House Bookshop, and that's in Old Denham Springs, between 10 and 2 o'clock on December the 3rd. We've got some other stuff here at the end of December. We're going to be in Lockport and Cutoff and Thibodeau at 3 different libraries. And then into 2023 here, that's already starting to fill up now. Come the summer, that's going to really fill up. June and July, we don't get a day off. We're working every day through June and July. So if you want to know where we're going to be, come along to our website, thedinosaurexperience.com, as you can see up here. Click on more, go to public events, and that's where you can see us. Interestingly, just a few other bits and pieces while we're here. If you wanted to quote for your birthday, we can click on birthdays and you can put in your address there. Mum and Dad can do that for you. And we'll come back and talk to you about if we can come to your birthday, if we're available. Or if you want us to come to your school or summer camp, then you can click on here where it says schools and summer camps. There's a form to fill out and we'll come straight back to you and hopefully we'll come to your school. Would that be cool? I think it would be cool. Other places you can find out our details, we've got our Facebook page, which is here. Some of you are watching on the Facebook page, I can see that. And you can see we're live here, and also we've got all our bits and pieces on here. And when we've got some live stuff going on, we'll put it on here. And here is the event that you can see we've just been talking about at the Cavalier bookshop in Old Denham Springs. You can actually click on here, share it with your friends, make sure they know about it as well. Another place, the Dinosaur Experience for Kids Facebook group. Okay, now this group, I want you guys to join or get mum and dad to join for you. And on this page, you can add any pictures you've got, any stories. If you've done a drawing at school or if you've made a clay model, you can add it here. There's a little video here of somebody dressed up as a Quetzalcoatlus. It was the thing he wanted to dress for Halloween. And then we've got details of today's show, and we've got all sorts of other stuff, some stuff from the library here, and then there's some videos here all about dinosaurs. So please do come along and join the Dinosaur Experience for Kids Facebook group. We'd love to see you there. We've got about 2,200 members, and we've been going for, I think, just under a year now. So that's really good. Very active. We keep it going. Now, let me tell you, it's very moderated. So that means that myself and Miss Dawn, we make sure that nothing comes on here that shouldn't be here. So every time somebody puts something up here, we have to tick it to say it's okay, or we delete it and say, no, we don't want that. So you won't see anything bad on here. And the final page I want to show you is our YouTube page. This is where you can see so many different videos. We're up to 130 subscribers now. Here you can see that, and it's actually telling you that we're live now. So you can actually watch us live on YouTube. And once that's finished, it goes into this little bundle here, the Dinosaur Experience Live. And you can see there's 38 videos there. There'll soon be 39. Lots of different playlists here. We've got a secret little thing we're working on at the moment. It's going to get added to this. So a whole bundle of videos are going to get added soon. So excited about that. Can't wait to tell you all about that. So make sure that you subscribe to the Dinosaur Experience YouTube page so you don't miss out on that or anything else. All right, let's have a little look at our dinosaur of the day. Here he is. So we mentioned about his teeth. We mentioned about the most famous one being able to rake his teeth. And the most famous one that we know of, his name was Dippy. And he's actually been copied and sent all around the world. But the one I went to see a couple of weeks ago is actually in London. Okay, so he is actually a type of dinosaur called a Diplodocus. Okay, did you get it? All right, so he's either Diplodocus or Diplodocus, as some people say. And as we said last week, there is no wrong answer on the way that things are pronounced. Okay, there's no wrong answer on the way things are pronounced. Just some people say Diplodocus, some say Diplodocus. All right, guys. That's today's show. I hope you've had fun. I hope it was good for you. I see there's quite a few people watching, so we're really happy about that. Don't forget, you can always chime in, let us know who you are. A few shout outs. I wanted to shout out to you guys at the Cornerstone Christian Academy from today, the pre-K school. So many of you guys had so much fun. And we loved meeting you all. I want to say hello to Crackers. Let me bring this up here. Who put into Facebook, yes, I'm well. Hope you're well, Crackers. I know you've been a little bit unwell. So good to see you. Jim, hello, Jim. I don't know if you're still watching, but I saw that you liked the video. Jim works at the Hammond Theatre that we did our live show at. Hopefully we'll be doing that again maybe next year. Good to see you, Jim. Thanks for watching. And for all you guys out there that haven't said anything, I can see there's a dozen of you or 6 of you out there. Thank you for watching. It really does mean a lot to us. And we've got some exciting projects coming up. So remember, you can see us on thedinosaurexperience.com, on our Facebook group, The Dinosaur Experience for Kids, and our YouTube page. They're the main places that we want you to subscribe to. All right, lots of stuff going on. We've got another show hopefully next Thursday. Just keep an eye out on the Facebook pages, and we'll let you know when that's going to be. All right, guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.